Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the ManDem United podcast, the podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United. So please put all your questions, all your comments, Manchester United related. Is the Friday edition of the show. Apologies on the lateness of this show, people. I know we moved it from I was supposed to do on Thursday, but I didn't, and then this was supposed to be earlier. But that's because shout out to Matisse, he was down in Manchester. Plus, then I had to go get a trim as well and other life stuff. But we're here, and like I said, it's the Friday edition. My bro from the West Coast, which is the best coast, is in the building. What are you telling me, Eddie? You good?
All good, brother. Happy Friday or Saturday, depending on where you watching from.
Thanks.
How you, man?
Oh, bless, man. You already know. Tired, but
Good, good,
no
good.
complaints. You know what I'm
I
saying? Just
feel it.
just
I
keeping
feel
things
it.
ticking over. You already know. But let's bump up the likes, please, people. Whether you're watching live right now or watching this back, let's bump up the likes on this video. Please share this across all of the socials as well. And on top of those two things, make sure you subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV as well. So let's bump up the likes, hit the share button, and subscribe. We'll be discussing all things Manchester United. As you can see from the title, Ivan Toney banned for 8 months. Should Manchester United look to sign him? So me and Eddie will be giving our thoughts on that. Of course, the top four race. Of course, us being away at Bournemouth as well. And on top of the things I just mentioned, the ownership seems to go on and on and on and on. And probably during this show, there'll be some breaking news, or I'll get told some information from the chat that I do not know about. But yeah, big up to Dortmund David. I see you. Big up Warrior J as well. Big up to Malcolm also as well. Warrior J will give predictions. I'll start at. Yeah, but I will star any of the better questions. And of course, if you drop a super chat, I'll get straight to it as well. But we'll start with Ivan Toney, someone who I've
Mm,
mentioned a lot. Eddie spoke on the chat. I've mentioned him. I've heard other Manchester United fans speak about him. I've heard other fans of other clubs also mention him, and it seems everybody's united, no pun intended, of wanting him to go to their football club. I've heard Manchester United fans, like I said, Chelsea need a number 9. I've heard them mention it. I've heard Jez and other Spurs fans say if Kane was to leave, they would take Ivan Toney as well. So it seems anybody who needs a number 9 is looking at Ivan Toney. I've even heard Arsenal fans mention Ivan Toney as well, which I think would be a great
mm.
fit also. But where do you stand knowing that we now know he's going to be banned for 8 months and he'll be back January? So he'll be back January 2024.
It for me, if we can find someone comparable to his talent ID,
Mm.
I would rather go in for them than have him go through this 8 month ban. Where I don't can he train?
He can train. Obviously, he can't. I don't think he can train with the club, but he can train
Yeah,
like
you can
individually.
train
Yeah, he can
individually.
train
So,
individually. Yeah, so he can stay in shape.
and that's 8 months from now.
Mm.
Is that 8 months from now?
Yeah, it's 8 months from now, fam.
Okay.
Yeah. It's eight
So
months
yeah,
from now,
he's
so
so
he's banned off. Yeah,
he's free in like January
yeah. It's
about.
January the saying that he can be back. Like,
Yeah, maybe next year.
mm,
Maybe next year when we see what his form looks like after the 8 month ban. I don't
mm,
because of where we're going, and I'm not where we're going, where we need to be going,
mm.
and with everything going on at our club right now, I just don't think it's a good look.
Okay.
Um, because again, it's like you got that going. You have the striker who we won't speak on, who's still at the club as well. That they haven't figured that situation out,
Yeah,
and
that's still going on.
apparently there are teams in for him. So,
Not in England. Is that abroad though?
no,
Abroad.
yeah,
Okay, I
abroad.
thought so.
So for me, just to be on the safe side, I'd rather, again, if anything, you get him next summer,
Mm,
or maybe even January if you want to fork up that amount of cash.
mm.
Um, I think a lot of it will depend on where Brentford find themselves in the table come January.
That's a great point. That's a very good
Um,
point.
because he's so integral to what they do, him not being there is really gonna hurt them. So if they're on this thing where they're fighting off relegation, they're not gonna sell him because they want to stay up.
Facts.
Um, but if they're noticing life without him, they can manage. They can do just fine. then I think that's even more of an incentive for them to sell him at a higher asking price.
Mhm.
For me, it's funny because I was just watching Monaco. I think it's Monaco versus Lyon,
Okay.
and the top, the joint top goal scorer in that league is
Is it
like a
Lacazette?
Zet. It's
Yeah,
like a
Lacazette.
Zet, and I'm watching and I'm just thinking to myself like, damn, that's where we're at right now with the striker position. Like Lacazette is out here getting top numbers and stuff like that. Like, so I'm looking around. I'm looking at all the
Mhm.
other clubs, even the Prem strikers, right? Like, I can't pick one off the top of my head
There's no one that
who
stands out.
who stands out.
No, I get you.
And I guess there's always the Ramos brother who plays for Benfica, but
Yeah.
who knows? That's again one of those things I'm kind of wary of is World Cup hype because he had a
Hmm.
great World Cup. People want to go ahead and drag in and bring him into conversation. My thoughts on Kane. Um, Osherman is just the price tag is too high for the amount of. But depending on who comes in, if it's the Qataris, then what is the price? Who cares about the price? They might say we need to make big splashes, just start
True.
slapping money,
Mhm.
and next thing you know, we have a whole new outfit. So, um, yeah. Long story short, I'm good for now. For now, I'm good, but I'd monitor the situation.
Yeah. You made a great point in regards to where Brentford are at come January. I think
Mm,
that could definitely have a major impact that I didn't actually think of. Like Alam says here, big up to Alam every single time. Said he can train with the club after 4 months. Returns to play mid-January. Will train September, I suppose. Matthew says with
mm,
Toney with the 8-month ban, just don't know what condition he'll be in, especially as he can't do any football-related
right.
activities. Dominic, this is my thoughts on it. Dominic here says I'd say buy Tony and get another striker alone. I would get 2 strikers permanently
Yeah.
alongside. We need 3. That's why I would
Yeah.
still. Yes, I hear the conversation and about Ivan Tony, and we don't know what condition he's going to be in. However,
Right.
because we need more than 1 striker, I would go and get 3 anyway and go and sign him because I think you could
Right.
get him for cheaper. Bear in mind his contract runs out 2025. So this time next year, he'll be going into the last year of his deal, and you want to do your best to avoid a bidding war. That's how I'm looking
Yeah.
at it with this Ivan Tony.
Yeah.
Go and get him now, whilst teams are maybe not looking at him because of this ban. To me, you gotta be smart. Like you go get Ivan Tony, you go get a backup striker to Ivan Tony, whoever that is, and then you go get an 18, say 19-year-old who can play up top as well and have a third choice. How like we sign Garnacho, go get a Garnacho-esque player who can play up top. So we'll go sign somebody for 400, 500K who maybe has is just really strong or just electric or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just go get
Yeah.
one of them obscure players for 500K
Mm-hmm.
who's 18 years old from somewhere who can
Mm.
play like Garnacho. You know what I'm saying? Because at the start of the season, when we was looking at the squad, nobody was mentioning Garnacho. And then he got in and took his spot and then took his chance. And now when we're
Yeah.
talking about the Manchester United team, Garnacho's mentioned. Even if he's not starting, he's mentioned as, oh, Garnacho's fit. He's available. He'll be off the
Yeah.
bench should he start, etc. Go and do that. So, but don't just have that. Like I said, have the backup to then Ivan Tony. And then you've got 2
Yeah.
strikers. Because if we
Mm-hmm.
don't sign Ivan Tony, cool. But my
Mm-hmm.
my thought process still stands. We need bare minimum 2 strikers. Bare minimum. We
Mm-hmm.
need 2. Ideally 3. Because if you sign 2 strikers and one gets injured, then we're back to the scenario we was in this season, where it was
Yeah.
just Martial or it was just Vegas. Go sign 3 strikers, man. That's what we need. None of this having to play Rashford up top. You know what I'm saying? Because that should be all right. Ten Hag's choosing to, not a necessity because we have no one else. Or playing Sancho as
Mm.
a false 9 or playing somebody else as a 9. Go get the required, and it's not
Mm.
even expensive. I don't even think Tony would cost that much. Man, I'm saying like Tony's like 50. I heard like 50 million. To me, that's a
Are you
steal.
sure?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what the
Can't
report
be.
said.
That's a steal. If that's what
That's
that is. Like
yeah.
that's
I
crazy.
hear it about him being out of shape. I get that, but he can still train. It's not like man just gonna
Mm.
be on the couch getting fat. Like
Of course.
you can still train. And people say, oh, you can't actually buy him from Brentford, but you can be negotiating and you can talk to them. You can say, all right,
Yeah.
what would be the amount? Okay, we are gonna
Yeah.
offer X in January or whatever that is, and they'll take that. Because one thing
Yeah.
that adding on top for what you said, the predicament Brentford are gonna be in, can Brentford afford to go without him? They need to sign someone. Can they go 6 months without their best player?
I think somebody, shout out to
Go on.
Matthew. Appreciate you
Yeah.
always being in the comments, my guy. He said that apparently they're lining up for a Coventry striker.
Yeah, he said the Coventry striker. I'm not sure of his name, but if that makes sense, if they are looking at even outside of trying to sell Toney, he's banned now. They're gonna need somebody.
Yeah, of course.
They're gonna need somebody. Who they sign, I don't know, but they're gonna need somebody. 110%.
Yeah.
They will. Somebody of some sort. Time to shine,
Yeah.
saying I'd wait till next year if he comes back and isn't the same straight away. Might be able to get him cheaper. I think the cheapest you gonna get him is now. That's why I'm not with the waiting thing. Like going,
That's a
if we
fair
don't sign
point.
2 strikers, I hear it though.
That's a fair point.
Shout
Shout out to Dominique. I just gotta get to it. R.I.P. Jim Brown. He was a real one. So yeah, man. That's an American guy out here, like real OG. So shout out to him,
is it?
man.
What
Yeah.
sports person?
Football.
Okay, man.
Like
RIP,
one
man.
of the he was big in the civil rights movement.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen that picture. It's called the Ali Summit. When Ali first, took the stance that he didn't want to take part in the Vietnam War, he was getting killed all over the airwaves and everything like that. And so there was a summit of like 10 of the most prominent black athletes, and they just huddled around him. They just gave the statement that they support Ali, and it was big in that time. So definitely want to give my condolences to his family, just because you always want to big up the people who made it possible for you to enjoy the liberties in this country that you've been provided. So my fault for taking up a little bit of take off subject, but just wanted to acknowledge that. So appreciate you, Dominic, putting that in the chat.
Yeah, man. RIP to Jim Brown. Like you said, no, it's no issue with going off topic, especially if it's something as important as that. Like you stated, for all the reasons and all. I mean, all the things that he did, 110%.
Yeah, appreciate that.
That's calm. And this one blogger says, big up Flawless and Eddie. I'd say bring in Toney for about 50 million, bring a striker from the academy. And with Martial still at the club, use the rest of the money for a different position. I'm not with the Martial thing, but if we were to bring a player, yeah, it's not the Martial thing, but this gonna blogger the rest. Yes, even if we brought a player through the academy and go and sign Toney and somebody else, I'm offering an academy striker.
No. Leave me out of the academy. Leave me out.
You know with the academy thing, no.
Nah. Not until
go on.
I see the development by the new ownership group of our academy. I can't trust nothing coming out that academy right now, bro. I can't do it. So for me, unfortunately, he's done his job. Weghorst got to go. Martial got to go. We got to start anew, because I can't take one more season of hearing Murtaza or anybody else whine about Weghorst being on the squad.
Yeah,
it's not even his play. It's not even his play. It's the noise. It's the noise around him. It's not his fault. But we're not a club. Like, this is what I've noticed. Because it's in our DNA as a club, right? Like, United play a certain type of way. A certain type of ferocity comes with the most successful United clubs when you look back at it.
Yeah. 100%.
The tech was there, but the thing that separated us from them was our tenacity and pretty much just our will to win. So when it comes to the outfit I'm looking for, when it comes to our striker, he gotta have like, I don't like him, but I'm talking like Suarez type energy. You know what I'm talking about? Not the racism and all that, but that type of, got that dog in him.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because we need to have a consistent identity within our club that people can expect to see from us day in and day out. Right now, we look like one thing one day, we look like another thing the next. So I just need some consistency with how we approach the game. And so for those
You know, if I one second.
reasons, yeah. For those reasons, people, I don't want to see Martial anymore. I appreciate him. He did what he did for us, but I'm good off that. Gift Orban in, Martial out, Orban in. Okay. Matthew says Hugo looks decent in the academy. He's well bid for his age too. You know what, Matthew? If he gets the opportunity, I'll remember that you said that, so I'll keep that in mind. The only reason I mentioned that is if rumors are true, we don't have enough funds for all the positions we need this summer. Just kind of, bro, that's a fair point. And I think that's a very reasonable thing to say now that you provided that context. But me, listen. I'll take anybody, but Martial at this point. I'm sorry, and I was the biggest Martial fan, but I just need to see new faces at the club. I don't need to see the same faces that I've been seeing for about 5+ years, 5 to 6+ years now. I'm good. I'm good. Completely off the roll. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, bro, 5 to 6 years seeing the same dudes? No, man. Nah.
We don't. Who is the last? I'm trying to think. Who's the actual last striker we've seen actually come through our academy? Who's actually gone through to the first team? Is it like what's his face? Oh, I forgot his name. The guy who got injured before Rash, because obviously Rashford wasn't even a striker. I swear he was a wide player, like in the academy. Something Wilson. Let me know in the chat. I swear it was him. Something Wilson.
That's crazy.
I say he's the white guy with the blonde hair. Even Greenwood though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
even Greenwood, because he plays out. Man, I'm saying Rashford, Greenwood, all right, fairs, but they've played out wide. All right, so I'll go one further then. Who's the actual last academy player to come through the system and we actually played more often than not through the middle? You haven't really played strikers through the middle.
No, we haven't.
Like Rashford's had periods, but he's more of a wide player. He's played more out wide.
Yeah,
same with Greenwood as well. He played more out wide.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think. It's probably like a Makeda or something. Yeah, James Wilson. That's it. That's his name, bro, man. James Wilson. He actually played through the middle, but he wasn't like consistent. Like I said, Makeda and Welbeck, like they were the last two that I can remember who like consistently had runs playing the center forwards. That's mad. You just really don't produce them. You really don't.
Nah, we've been in the trenches, man. Simply put, we've been in the trenches when it comes to this striker situation. Like Cavani was in here, and he was probably the most consistently, like, not even consistent, because it was like he would just do things. You know what? He was the most consistent in front of goal. Like we knew if we gave Cavani opportunities, he was more likely than not gonna bag, but he just couldn't stay fit. And then he just got older and older, and we just like, yeah, we can't really be doing this. So, like, it would be interesting to see him, not now, but like 2 years ago with this manager, because he is the manager's type of player, just runs around a lot, presses his socks off, and can finish. And he has the speed. I think that's the unfortunate thing about Martial is there's zero explosiveness. Absolutely.
Yeah. It seems like he's lost like that directness. You know what I'm saying? Big up to the GOAT, Floyd Mayweather in the cut every single time. TB every single time. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Without doubt. And to Paul as well, who mentioned a couple of them strikers you mentioned, I've never even heard of.
Yeah,
you mentioned a couple of I've never. So I'm not even gonna lie to you lot and be like, yeah, such and such. No, they've even heard of them that you're talking about. But yeah, in regards, again, you lot continue to get the questions in. Continue to share this across all of the socials. Bump up the likes. Get us up to 30 likes, people, and subscribe to the channel if you are indeed new as well. Hit that subscribe button, please. But yeah, with me, like I said, I don't think there's any better opportunity to sign Ivan Toney. I think this is the cheapest you're going to get him is right now. And I'd just be like, all right, the 8th month ban, cool. We need 2 strikers anyway. So, I mean, in addition to him, when I say that, we need 3. So go get a backup and go get me, not necessarily an academy player, but like I said, a Garnacho type player to play up top. And when I say that, talking about in the terms of how we signed him. Go get a striker for 500K, $1 million, even 5 million. some 18, 19-year-old, someone obscure. It doesn't, that's from South America or maybe in Spain or maybe Italy that just has one attribute that you go, all right, at least he has that. I'm saying, go get someone who's just electric, or go get someone who's like strong, like incredibly strong or incredibly athletic or a great finisher or great at holding the ball or great in the air or something like that.
You know who I would have taken?
Go on.
As that who fits that profile?
Go on.
Who Brighton just got from Watford.
Oh, you talk about João Pedro?
Yeah.
I like João Pedro. He's not really central, but if he was looking for a wide player, yeah, that's the type of guy.
Oh, is he? I thought he played.
Nah, he's more. Yeah, he's more a wide player. He's more a wide player. He's one of those. He can. Yeah. He's like Rashford, where yes, he can play central. You know what I'm saying? And that. But more often than not, when he played for Watford, it was more. When I watched him, obviously I didn't really watch him this season, but last season I watched Watford, and it was more. More so, he was in one of the wide spots, but he could do a job up top in the two. But yeah, that's a prime example of what I'm talking about. Not João Pedro, but somebody like that. Even if he went to the Championship and went and got someone, because they should be back up to the second choice, who is more serious. You know what I'm saying? Who's of a certain level and a certain caliber, and to challenge Ivan Toney or whoever your first choice is, or even a Harry Kane. Bear in mind, people, I'm not saying Ivan Toney or bust. I'm saying if it's not Ivan Toney, this still needs to be addressed. Even if we were to sign Harry Kane, go and get back up to Harry Kane. Yeah, go on, fam.
Yeah, it's with what you're presenting. I just can't. I think with the money, because if you look at it, right, like we need bodies bad, like so. And I think the point was made in the chat with how much we're gonna have in the summer to spend. And this is all predicated on certain players being out of there. Your McTominay, your Maguires, your Martials, your heck, even Eric Bailly, I think should be. He might be a free agent, or we might be able to sell. I'm not too sure. But the likes of those guys have to generate a certain level of funds for us to go out there and address multiple needs. And with the striker market being what it is, we might just be, it might be in our best interest just to look for projects more than big names at that position.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, like the wide outfit's already set. Anthony, Mod, Rashford, Sancho, those are already set in stone. And I think it'll start to become a make it break it year, in the maybe not in the man, maybe in the Man U's eyes of a Sancho and or even a Rashford. Because let's have some honest conversations about Rashford, right? Great year, of course. But that was 1 year. That was 1 year. Are you a purple patch guy, or can you make this a consistent thing for you? But even in saying that, right? What is it? 2 goals in 3 months?
Something to do with the league game. It was something like that. That being said, with the league games, he did in one of those months. He only played 2 league matches because of all the competition.
Okay.
Yeah, he did have a poor month, but not that I don't mind him. I understand him dropping off. Not understand. I'm more lenient to him dropping off because of how good he's been. And outside of the goals and assists, what I've liked most about Rashford this season is his overall game. Because this is the best I've seen his overall game.
Overall game, you'd say?
But overall, this is the best I've seen him play. Because I've seen him impact matches where he's not got a goal or assist. Even just simple, just being a nuisance. You call it all the time. You coin the phrase. I use it all the time, and I always credit you to it. Try hard. Just running behind. Just turning defenders around.
Yeah. And the good thing with Rashford, I'll let you go.
That's cool.
The good thing with Rashford is, along with the try hard stuff, he has the can't coach factor, right? Like, I can't coach you being that explosive, being that direct, being that strong. So if you were to couple that, and I think what you're saying is he's coupled that with the try hard factor as well.
Yes, I'm saying
Okay.
because there's times last season where it's like I always say I'll forgive lack of skill, I won't forgive a lack of will. Rashford's always been
Right.
quick, he's always
Right.
been explosive, and the things that we were criticizing, like he got criticized for running down blind alleys, making bad runs, always being offside. Last season that didn't happen. Cutting in and shooting and not making the right decision. A lot of the time last season, that wasn't happening. He wasn't cutting in and shooting when he shouldn't be. He wasn't running down blind alleys. There was no runs in my. He looked like Sancho in terms of just being on the outskirts of the game. Like I don't. One thing about Rashford is whether he's played normally, whether he's played poorly or he's played well, whether he's played 1 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, you remember him in the game.
Yeah.
And too often last season, it's like, right, did Rashford play? Just letting games drift. Bruno's very much like that. For all the criticism I give Bruno, you remember him playing, whether it's a 12 out of 10 or whether it's a 0 out of 10. And that's just, you can't be at Manchester United as an offensive player and not impacting games. I forgive my centre-backs and full-backs having quiet games. Even my DM, my goalkeeper, because that means, all right, we're not on, but you're supposed to be on the offensive. You're a part of the process that is going to help us win games. And more often than not, Rashford's impact, the goal he scored against Arsenal, he don't score that. That's what I'm talking about. He created for himself there, and it was outside of the typical Rashford goal. Cutting in and shooting or running in behind. Beautiful piece of skill, and then you're shooting from 25 yards out. So you've dropped off, picked up the ball, went past the man, I think it was Partey, and put it bottom bins. That's
he
good.
Megged Partey.
He megged Partey. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, is that. So when I say he's improved his game, stuff like that, because it wasn't the typical Rashford goal, which obviously I'm glad there is a such thing as a typical Rashford goal, but I need other things as well. And bear in mind how piss poor our attack's been. That's why I credit him as well. Because you carried our attack. Take you out, we're nowhere near the level we're at. And it's not like anybody was performing to a high level around you. So that's where I give him more credit. Because you were getting little help. He to bring it to basketball, you'll know this, like LeBron and the Cavs. Did he not reach the finals and then he left and then they were bottom of the conference the next year?
Yeah. Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Because if you do, when we do our end of season wrap up, guarantee all the better players we talk about are all defensive. Casemiro, Martinez, Varane, Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw. Maybe Anthony.
I would say that's about the list. That's about the list.
That's about it, fam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about.
I hear you.
Well, yeah, just to round off before we continue again, you lot continue to get your questions in. Just please keep it Manchester United related. Ivan Toney should be a part of a whole rebuild, and we need 3 strikers. None of this one bringing in 1 striker, just the Ivan Toney or just the Harry Kane or just the Ramos. No, it needs to be number 1 striker and none of this one business. Because let's say we sign Kane and then Kane gets injured, or we sign Toney and then you're back to square one and then you're doing loan deals to go get a Weghorst. Martial, we know we can't rely on. So it's like, hopefully we go and do the business. But I would still, because of this 8-month man, go and sign Ivan Toney. They'll train and then go get others. Go get 2 others, man. Like that's what I'm saying. Go get a youngster, like I said, like a Garnacho type. And then aside from that, go get an actual proper backup who's a little bit more expensive and has more potential and maybe has a little bit more of a resume. That's where I would go with. That's what I would go with. That's just me, though. That's just me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think you put together a pretty compelling argument as to how we should move. I think you get the 2 young strikers that can develop in the position. They're going to get play time, so they're going to develop. Hopefully, they can contribute soon. And you bring in Toney, because I think Toney is actually the piece that you plug in right away, and everything we need from a striker in our system is given to us.
Yes. From
the pressing to his ability to play with the Rashford, to play with Anthony, help out in midfield as an outlet. He has all the skills. Even though they didn't give a great performance as a team when we played them. Watching him on the ball, he is one of them ones. Like
Mm.
he makes it for himself. You
Mm.
know, I think that's the issue that we have with strikers right now is they don't create the chances for themselves that has to be put on the plate.
Yeah.
Your Weghorst needs somebody. He's not going past
Yeah, he's not
anybody.
going to create for himself. Facts. Yeah.
Martial's the same way.
Mm.
And what you're seeing now is you have to be able to make something out of nothing in the Prem because it's not going to be put on a plate for you.
Facts.
The center backs are way too fast, way too quick, way too strong to think that you'll have enough time on the ball to take that extra touch. Um, yeah, it's just defense. Yeah, defense in this league is crazy. It's honestly it's League Un esque. Like, but then you couple that with
Mm.
a sprinkle of the technical ability that you'll see in La Liga, and even the goal scoring ability that you'll see and the tactics wise that you'll see in something like the Bundesliga. That's what I think makes the Prem so unique is there's a bit of every type of thing that you have to look out for. Like you can't tell me if you put Wolves in La Liga, they don't make a name for themselves. Not saying that they win the league, but they do their thing because of the
Mm.
technical play that they have on their outfit.
Yeah, yeah,
You just go down the line like something like a Brighton in Bundesliga. Could you imagine Brighton in Bundesliga with the way that they play? Like
they pop the ball about. Be
pop the
interested,
ball
but then
about.
if they get Europe, it'd be interesting to see how they do match up in Europe. I'm
Yeah,
very
yeah, yeah.
whether it's Conference League, whether it's Europa League. I'm interested to see how they do in that competition. I
Mm-hmm.
am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Me
interested to
too.
see how
Me too.
110%. And Emma makes a great point. I don't know how this works actually. If the ban only counts in England, then we could loan out Toney during it to a top 5 or 10 league to make sure he stays match fit. Yeah, if
I
you're
think
banned,
what would happen.
yeah, go on,
I
fam.
think what would happen is if he would the ban would happen while he's a part of the while he's still a registered player under the FA.
Hmm.
So if he leaves and comes back again, he'll still have to. That's how I
I'll
think
have to serve
he'll
the
still
ban.
he'll still have to serve the ban in its entirety.
Hmm. No, I
So
got
I
you.
think that's the thing. I think, but I could be wrong because Matthew's saying that they're trying to make it an international ban, but
See?
it's
Yeah, I wonder if it's like boxing, where if you get banned under like one governing body, like you can still go elsewhere and fight. Like Conor Ben, for example, is banned over here in the UK by the British Boxing Board of Control, or he can
he
go
about
America and fight.
in fight. Yeah,
Yeah, he can go elsewhere. He can go elsewhere and fight under certain commissions. You can. So I don't know if you're under the English FA, you're banned. But say the Spanish FA or the Italian FA, does the ban
yeah.
cross over? If they're not trying to make it worldwide. I'm doubling down even further in terms of go sign him and then loan him out. Could easily go and loan him out to make for
That
6
would be
months.
it. That would be it. That would be the best course of action. Absolutely.
Yeah, see, Pep the BB says FA have applied to FIFA to have it upheld globally as per Sam Looker. So that's going to be interesting. Either or, whether it's not, but that makes it much easier if it's not upheld. Because they might, maybe the FA looks at it and when a club might try that. Because Brentford, his contract runs out 2025. So he's gonna be in the last year of his deal next year. So come the end of the season, come the end of next season, then he could be looking to leave, and they're not negotiating from a position of power with 1 year left on his deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is. It's going to be interesting. It really is. 100%. And Toney says, flawless, bro. We need better than Rashford. I like he's turned me around this season. I can't lie. Because I wanted Rashford gone at the end of last season, but this season he's impressed me. Not only is he impacting games in terms of goals and assists as well, I'm watching the overall game and I'm like, you are impacting matches. He's been our only shot. Anthony's been bright. Take that out. I'm like, yo, Rashford has performed this well with players I don't rate like that.
By
You got
himself,
Bruno
you could
by
say.
himself, pretty much. It's not even like we have an overlapping fullback that you go, yeah, that was a massive help. And then link up like a Malacia or a Shaw. So if you get him a better an actual foil. And I've seen him on top of that play up front. And that's something I've been super critical of. And I've seen him play up front to a point very well at times, like Spurs, for example. Do I want to see him as a striker on a regular basis? No. But it's like he's carried, and I've seen, and his goals and assists have led to something. Like, it's like when people always try and praise Bruno. Oh, Bruno gets all these goals and assists. What did we win? When I was on Saeed's channel, and me and Musa was going back and forth about Bruno, and then he mentioned, Pogba in the 2016-17 season. Was it? Yes. Yeah. And I said to him, here's the thing. I said, oh, wait, that season, what did we win? He said, League Cup and Europa League. So Pogba's performances led to trophies. Don't give me players' performances that lead to nothing. Rashford has performed to a level, and Manchester United not only have won a Carabao Cup, we are in another FA Cup final. It's not all on him, but he's played his role. If we finish top 4, which I think we will, then he's played his role. He's done his part. So with a 10 I don't rate, no number 9, Anthony, and we need a new midfielder and a fullback. Like, so I'm convinced. But if we can get better, let's go get better, Nathan. I'm all for improving. Well, that's just me.
Yeah. And to Emma's point, Emma, we know the truth, right? But here's how they get away with it. To them, right? Those infractions don't disrupt the integrity of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So they can be like, oh, he was betting on games. Who's to say, he wasn't betting on his own games and he changed the outlook, right? That type of nonsense. But yeah, just monkey noises. Yeah, that doesn't ruin the game at all, people. It's unfortunate. It doesn't ruin the game for anybody at all. So we know the truth, Emma. We know the truth.
Yeah. Facts. We know exactly what it is. You right. You know exactly what it is. Absolute just nonsense. That's what it is. Absolute. We know. I mean, you're right.
Already know. Like, we already know.
Once it starts hitting their pockets, it's a problem. Big up Daredevil every time as well. We know what time it is. Big up to Matthew says, what do you think about the news today that Ratcliffe's personal wealth has gone up to 30 billion from 20 billion? Do you think that's bad and gives more chance of buying the club? Nah.
Fake.
Yeah.
How you make $18 billion overnight and it's not worldwide news? How? Who you take that money from? And how is it not worldwide news? Well, I can't deal with it, man. I can't do it. Listen, I saw some that they're like, the Glazers want completely out. That's what I saw. Now they're seeing, right? So if they want completely out, meaning you have to buy their stake out, so it's gonna cost you some money.
No facts. 100%.
Yeah, you know what? Oh, Chrissy, he miscounted it. He miscounted it. He found some in the couch. He found some in the piggy bank in the little jar where you put your keys. He found some more in there too.
Facts. So ironically, I got the plate where I put keys as well. Maybe I need to go count it. I might have $18 billion, 18 billion pounds.
Let me go check, man.
It's all mad. It really is a joke thing. Pepper Baby says, do you think Martial comes clutch if he remains fit in the final 3 Premier League games? I think he scored in the last game. You know what? I'm going to say this. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of Martial. He's looking like Sancho. He looks like, and when I say he looks like Sancho, I'm talking in terms of like, I don't remember the last time Martial had a good game. I can't tell you. Man. What's the last time I remember? And I'm like, oh yeah, Martial was a standout today. He was 8 out of 10 today. He was 9 out of 10. I don't remember him he's been a part, I think, of good team performances. Like when we just played Wolves, he was decent in involved in the team. But it's like, I don't remember you doing anything. Like before it was link up and that it seems the injuries are taking its toll.
No, that's definitely what it is. Like even when he used to run, it was a glide. It was like you could see him. You could if you monitor, you can watch him moving past folks. Now, it's like it's stuck in third gear, where it's fast, but it's not fast enough for what he's going up against. And so, can I sit here confidently and say I can rely on Martial to show up in these last 3 games? No, because even the goal that he scored, it was a tap in, and we honestly, I was more shocked that Bruno made that pass,
Oh, the one
or
through to
whoever.
Anthony.
Yeah, like I was more shocked about that,
Look at
and they
pass. He
played
played
on
well.
target, right? And so for me, he has no other choice but to step up because it's kind of an audition for him. If if he can't show up now, like I'm struggling to figure out who's gonna buy him.
Yeah, he's in that bracket. Yeah, he's in that bracket. It's like,
I don't
who's
know
gonna
who's
say?
gonna buy him.
It has to be a loan thing if he did indeed leave. Sorry, if he did indeed leave. We need Rashford fit more than we need Martial. Yeah, Matthew, I agree with that. Like I say, Martial, I was looking forward to him getting fit and joining, not joining, but starting in the lineup and playing regular. And you just look, yeah, I watch you playing. You look moderate. He looks average, which I can't believe I'm saying. Like even like the technique doesn't look there, like the touch. Like Eddie mentioned it as well, the way he used to glide and the balance, like everything just seems to have gone. Like overnight. It's like I don't recognize you anymore. I really don't. Even the giving goals and stuff, like it's sad, man. Maybe it is the injuries. Maybe King Manny. Maybe that's what it is. But we definitely need to we can't rely on Martial. We know this.
No, it's done. It's shit. I'm again, people. You were talking to a card carry member. I'm telling y'all, party's over.
Yeah, so,
Cancel Christmas. It's arrivederci.
yeah,
Au revoir. This is done. It's done.
So
He got to go. He got to go.
Matthew says, would you start Garnacho tomorrow?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, same. Go on. Why wouldn't you? I think we're on the same thought process.
I think because we found his calling card already, which is good. I think we found what makes him successful is coming off and being that spark, coming off the bench and being that spark. At this point of his career, yes. If we see more given, if we see more production, more responsibility, then we can start to talk about him starting. But I think it's the same issue I had with Malacia. These young dudes, their attention can only be engaged for so long. They have these small lapses in the game where it can lead to a mistake for us. And so for me, give him time. Give the likes of Malacia time. Give him time to develop at a good pace. I think the way that the manager has worked with him has been beneficial for him, and so I wouldn't rush that. I think with the Sancho, the argument between him and Sancho is, I just think at this point of his career, Sancho is a better decision maker.
First,
right? Like it might not lead to much, but he's not giving the ball away. He's not taking, I think the wrong types of touches. I think the thing for Sancho is he just doesn't do anything when he doesn't have the ball.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, and I think he's not entrusting in himself to get past players. I think he's looking for help to get past players. When we've seen you lose people just with the way you can manipulate the ball at your feet, I think he's lost that level of confidence. I think that's had a very direct impact on his ability to help us this season.
No, that's fair. That's a fair assessment. In regards to would I start him, no, because I think the best fit for him is him off the bench. Does he deserve to start on merit? Yes. Was he perform well? Bear in mind, that was his first 20 minutes was against Wolves. That's the first time we've seen him back, so I wouldn't rush him back. I'd play him again for another 20 minutes against Bournemouth. Then you maybe look to play him against Chelsea. But we all know with the attributes Garnacho has, he's better off the bench. He's better off the bench. Doesn't mean he can't start. Doesn't mean he can't play well when starting. But I wouldn't risk it because then you're limiting your options off the bench. Like who are you playing? If you play Garnacho, and let's say it's Anthony over the other side, you only got Sancho to bring on. Because Rashford, we know, is coming back. Now, if Rashford fit, that's a different conversation. If you want to start Garnacho and then play Rashford off the bench, that's a whole different. But I see Rashford being fit and playing because I'm looking ahead to the FA Cup final. Who do you play?
Mm.
Who do you play? Yeah, he's better off the bench to me, and that's currently, like I said. And so I wouldn't personally, no, I wouldn't start him. I wouldn't start him against Bournemouth. I'd have him off the bench because I can see him playing an impact as well. Yeah, Martinez is a big miss, Emma. She says we need Martinez even more. All our performances have been downhill without him, both in defense and attack. Yeah, he's crucial to what we do. Absolutely crucial. Absolutely crucial. And to disgruntled blogger says Malacia the Black Zinchenko goes into central midfield and leaves the left back position free for other teams to exploit. That's unfair because that's instruction. He's not inverting by himself. The manager's telling him to invert. So if he does the manager's job and he's inverting, of course the left back spot gonna be free. That's not on him. That's no.
This is just not the case. Zinchenko. No, man, come on. First off, Zinchenko couldn't mark his own shadow. Don't put my brother Malacia in there. That's Bobby Schmurda as Reds called, but don't put him in that. I don't think he's technically poor. Jez, that's hilarious. No, he's done for the season, Jez. And I want to say something else, but I got people around me, so I can't cuss you out like I really want to. Martinez is done for the season. Is he technically poor?
No, I think he's technically okay. I think
he's okay.
Yeah.
Again, it's just decision making.
Yeah. He's moderate. He's moderate at everything, is what I would say. He's moderate.
I think he's I do think though what he does the best is just be a tryhard. And so that's my thing. Like that's what I've been waiting on. I think you talked about that overlapping fullback, right? I'd love to see Rashford with the left back who has a crazy amount of pace and just to see what type of connection they could have.
Yep.
That's always been the issue with that. No, when we were our best, that stretch of the season during the middle of the season, we were one of the fastest teams, I swear, in the league. Like, you look at how we were pressing, how we were attacking opponents. We were finding space and we were no hesitation going for it. And I think now, a big part of that is just the aggressiveness of Martinez and where he would win the ball and when he would be playing. Now that I've been watching this, it's too lethargic. Like saying it's slow, and maybe that's the amount of games we've been playing that we don't play at such a pace enough to create a lot of opportunities for ourselves. But I don't even think creating chances has been an issue. I think finishing has been an issue. And I think maintaining a certain standard of play from minute 1 to minute 90 has been the biggest one. And I think when you got players like a Malacia who's involved in that, he's not a guy who's going to be like, okay, people snap out of it. Let's get it going. He's going to be along for the ride too. He's going to be struggling just like he's not an outlier like that. Like right now, the only outlier we have in the team is Anthony. And you can tell with the level of passion that he plays with that he'll never think he's out of a chance. He'll never think he's out of a chance. Meanwhile, you got other guys on our team. You can call it one, like a Bruno, who I think emotionally is too unstable to be the person that you look to for some type of hope, for some type of confidence. He's moaning to players. He's moaning to referees. People pick up on that. So, yeah, I just think some got to change, and it has to start soon because let me tell you something right now. I ain't here to get embarrassed. I'm not here to get embarrassed anymore. And so they got to start putting together some professional performances to build up that confidence for that big one that we have at the beginning of June. And the only way you do that is by building and winning tomorrow, the day after. Win out. Don't even worry about just win all your games.
Yes.
Because once you win all your games, then who knows? Maybe Newcastle drop points somewhere.
Yeah, because we are
It's
currently
good.
on track to be level with them. Obviously, we play Saturday. Well, tomorrow they play Monday. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I get
So
what you're
that's what I
saying.
need, man. I think we just need to build up these habits
Mm,
that can really get us going for what we got coming up in June.
mm, mhm. Are you right? You're right. In regards to people I'm seeing comments in the chat in regards to Malacia, yeah, I do agree that Malacia is better defensively than he is offensively. He does need to
Mm.
improve going forward, but I like the fact as a modern day fullback, which he is, that he's good defensively. I have no issue. None of the issues I have with Malacia are from a defensive standpoint. My issues are
Mm.
offensively, which is something you can be improved on, like your
Yeah.
passing, your crossing. But that can also come with systems and patterns of play and stuff like that. But he has all the raw fundamentals, like in terms of he's a modern day fullback, physically calm, quick,
Mm-hmm.
strong. You know what I'm saying? Like agile, nice balance, all of that stuff. It's just the rest of it to go with it. Bear in mind, we do need a new left back because we need to improve. But
He will
Malasia, I
be
have
the
no issues with.
backup. He
Yeah,
should be the backup.
he should
No
be back up. Yeah,
question.
he
No
should be back up,
question.
which is cool. I'm saying I have no issue if it's Malacia and then somebody in front of him who's better. That's two good options to have. And then obviously you've got Luke Shaw, if needs must, who can do a job out there as well. I'm saying so that's
Mm-hmm.
absolutely fine. And then right back um, is the same. I look at Malacia kind of how I look at Wan-Bissaka in terms of good enough to be a squad player and backup.
Yeah. That's
That's how I look at
imagine.
Wan-Bissaka.
That's like our athletic build, right? Our athletic Madrid. But like if we just want to stink it up, especially if those
Yeah,
two get better after another summer,
yeah,
um, you put those
mhm,
two in, ain't nobody going anywhere.
yeah, 100%. So it is, as you says, flawless. In my opinion, Sancho at number. In my opinion, it's Sancho at number 10 and make it work. And next season, it simply has to come good. What do you think? Selling 2024, if again a flop season, I would say yes. I look at it. I think he has to play central. So it's either a 10 or a false 9. But we're gonna sign at least 1 9, so he's not gonna play there. You've got Bruno in the 10. Donny van der Beek is back in training. He'll probably be moved on. So then we'll probably sign another attacking midfielder. Sorry, so
Mm-hmm.
where does he play? It's one of those. I'd move him on. Good offer for Sancho,
Mm.
and I like Sancho. It's time. Yes, I
Mm.
think you're a good player, but good is not good enough. Same way when I've spoke about Dalot. I like Dalot. I think Dalot's a good fullback.
Mm.
But you're not good enough for where we're trying to go. Good is not good enough. So with Sancho, yes, I'd move him on 110%. And you get money from him. Obviously, you wouldn't get the amount back, but somebody you'd get money for him.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you have to pay his wages, pay half his wages, even if you loan him out and pay a percentage of his wages. But do I think Sancho can turn it around here this next season? No. But I said this last season about Rashford. I said the exact same thing. And Rashford can't turn this around. Let's move him on. And he's managed to.
Mm.
And Sancho has talent. I just don't see it working, man. I've talk about it all the time, people. The lack of P&P. It's a lack of pace and power with Sancho. And Sancho's quick. Don't get mistaken, but he's not electric. He's not explosive. He's not direct. And that's not his fault. That's just not his game.
And you know what?
Mhm.
Because when I think about it, I'm looking at his profile and I'm thinking that all he truthfully needs is a bit more confidence.
You're gonna say, so you've gone. You think it's a confidence issue?
Yeah. I really do because again, the manipulation with the ball at his feet is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he makes the right pass every time, right? But it's like he just doesn't trust himself to really get to that next, you know?
Yeah.
Um, like that's the thing. Judge brings a good point. Like we're still in the stage of, and this is my honest opinion. This is like year
Go.
two. This is year two, right?
Yes, this is year 2.
Year
Yes,
two.
because
I
he
think we're
last
still in the
season.
stages of him figuring out what he can and can't get away with in the prem. And
Mhm.
I think he's had moments, but I have when it comes to these players, I have zero loyalty to them. So if they get a great offer, let them go.
Yeah,
Let
that's
them
where I'm at
go.
with it. And with a suitable
That's
offer.
for like I said, that's for anybody. And I'll be real. That's for anybody not named Martinez. That's what it is. Rand's getting older. Cass is getting older. You name Martinez, you solid. Your key card still works. Anybody else? Arrivederci.
Fairs. Before we continue on this, let's continue to bump up the likes, people. We're only at 36 likes. 4 more. Girls up to 40 likes, people. Like check 1212. And we're currently at 6,462 subscribers. Only looking for 3 new subscribers. I know there's at least 3 of you lot who are watching right now who aren't subscribed. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell as well. Though I forgot to mention, link for the membership is in the pinned comment as well. So one surefire way to make sure you get on the channel is to join the membership. Many other great perks as well in regards to, even with Manchester United, their members only comment section on the watch along. So if you want to comment during the watch alongs, have to be a member of the channel, plus many more great perks as well. And to someone who asked me as well in regards to Sancho about a good offer, I take 50 M's for him right now. 50 million, 110%. I take 50 million for him. I wouldn't actively try and sell him, but if somebody came in with 50 M's, I'd move him on because is it time to shine? You mentioned it in regards to where is it? Hold up. Let's see. Well, you mentioned it us being okay in wide areas. That's the one place in the team I have no issues with. I have no qualms with the first team, as I have no qualms with the backups. Like I said, left-hand side, you got Rashford, you got Garnacho. Right-hand side, you got Anthony, you got Diallo returning. That's a good four. You got Sancho who can play left and can play right. You got Bruno who can also play out wide right as well. You got Palestri who's capable of playing wide right. That's the only position I look at and go, yeah, we're calm there. So if a good offer comes in for Sancho, cool. Go reinvest that money elsewhere because we need improvement everywhere. Whether it's first team or whether it's a backup or whether it's both.
Like if you told me you could flip that into somebody to replace David, then yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That 50 M's or 40 million could go towards a new goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And to Ed, who says, if we get the players to play 10 hard ball, I'm happy to see what Sancho can do in the 10. He definitely suits the possession-based passing game that Ten Hag ideally wants. Oh, yeah, I have no problem. Like I said, this ain't a shot at his talent. I believe in a possession-based system, Sancho flourishes even more. Yes, but we can't have a player who only flourishes in one system.
And the other thing is, let's say we change to that kind of system. And again, we can't because of the players we have. Like, you see what will happen to the other players. Like, possession based with Bruno. Possession based with Fred. Possession based with who else we got out there? Wan-Bissaka. Like, we just don't have the facilities for that. So that's the thing that's going against him, right? Like, I don't think those other players would be good in a possession-based system. So it's like, that's why people are asking, why does this look like Ollie ball? Because it's all these players. It's not hard. And so if he's to change, if they're all to change, then yeah, it'll work. But if they don't change and they're still on the books, we will have to be strictly what we are right now.
Yeah.
And so, that's going against Sancho. And we don't have time for this when we're literally going to be in a couple weeks the last thing stopping Man City from the treble. I have zero to little patience with any of them because this has happened on their watch. So all of them, like I said, other than Martinez, can go. And we'll start anew. And the cool part is we make enough money. There's no reason for me to think that we can't buy a world-class team overnight, other than the owners we have being stingy. But if the owners change, it's a new conversation.
Yeah. Well, like you spin from 110%. And that's what you can't just have a player who's just good in one system. and completely ineffective in others. I hear this about Sancho.
Yeah.
But they're like, if we don't, so what happens when we're away at somewhere? We go away to Real Madrid and we're not dominating
We're
the ball,
not
or we're away
dominating
at
the
Manchester
ball.
City
Yep.
or away at Liverpool. Like,
Yep.
then he can't play. He's redundant because he can't
Yep.
play in this. On the real, do you not think he could train to be a number 10? I stated this, that I want to see him ideally as a number 10.
Yeah,
I do.
absolutely.
I think that's the best position for him at Manchester United. However, we're going to sign another one because Donny's going to get moved on. So then you got the new number 10. You've got Bruno and him. It's like, where does he... I want to think about Bruno is he offers that mobility off the ball. He offers that third man running. I keep saying this, people, athletes game, man. Got to be able to do that.
You have to be an athlete just to give yourself a chance.
Yeah.
I think with City,
athletic,
right, with City,
go on, man.
They're athletes. Grealish, for people have to understand, Grealish is actually an athlete, right? He might not look the profile of what you think, but if you look at it, the way he moves, how strong he is, how fast he is, he's generally an athlete. Bernardo Silva,
direct.
I think Bernardo Silva, honest to God, shit, that's who Bruno Fernandes thinks he is. Like, that's how, when I see Bernardo play, direct, technical ability, anything you want off the wing. Rodri's a tank. Rodri, like, when you watch Rodri hold players off, going for tackles, he's
deceptively strong. He's got nice balance, strong. And he's got nice balance. That's what it is. He knows how to shield the ball and things of that nature. Yeah.
Walker, same thing. Ake, Akanji, they're athletes in some kind of way, with a certain technical thing that they're very good at. I'm telling you, like, when you look at our team, you just see the athlete profile, because the other stuff doesn't really cause it to stand out. And Sancho's in this place where, like, I think I've said this multiple times. In your front three, you can have one person who's not as fast. The other two got to be quick as you know what. Sancho, if he can't carry the attack, he's not fast enough to keep up with him.
And that's
just what it comes down to. That's all it is, people.
And what people forget as well, when people mention Manchester City, they're in an elite system with one of the best managers we've ever seen. So of course they go. If you put Grealish in our team, Grealish doesn't look like that.
No, absolutely not.
If you put Grealish in our team, he does not. Bear in mind, he struggled initially when he went there, but not only you have one of the best managers of all time, you have one of the best systems with some of the best players currently right now. We don't have all those. The Grealish don't look the same. A Gundogan don't look the same. Even their better players, even a Haaland or De Bruyne, yes, they would do bits because they're talented, but they don't look the same because of the other players around him and the system we have.
And that was my point. I meant to get through. Cool. You can have it. That's what I wanted to say. You can have. I forgot about him because he's forgettable for me personally. De Bruyne is surrounded by all that athleticism and pace, so you can see what his technical ability is like in a system, right? But if you have just De Bruyne there, all you have around him is pace and no system, you will see him struggle because his connections to his other teammates with the ball won't be as crisp.
You see, for Belgium all the time.
Thank you. There you go.
You see, for Belgium, and De Bruyne don't get mistaken, people. De Bruyne is a quality footballer. We all know that. No doubt that. And we see, and also on top of that, he's pace and power. We've seen him at times. Yes, he has sublime technical skill in terms of crossing the ball and passing, but you'll see him kick the ball and run, and that's not a shot, people. I'm just stating, you see him run with the ball. You see him carry the ball. Sancho can't do that. You can't. And in the game, in particular in the Premier League, it's essential. I criticize Bruno for it. Bruno doesn't do enough on the ball. He really doesn't do enough. He doesn't do enough. Off the ball is calm. If you could merge the two, you'd be fine. If you could get Sancho's on the ball and Bruno off the ball and put it together, it works. And trust me, I want to be wrong on this because I was talking this type of, I was saying all these type of things about Rashford, like I said, this time last year. Not going to make it, not good, blah blah blah, not good enough, etc. But he's proved me wrong. I hope to be proven wrong, but yeah, it's done for him, man. Like it is. But time to shine, yes. To get back to the original point, he could be trained as a number 10. How much time we got to be retraining players to play new
That's what
positions?
I'm
I'd rather just
saying.
go get a 10. Just go get Madison. That's what I want us to do. And to Nathan, who
Yep.
says possession based with Rashford, yes, because he can just get on the end of things. He has the attributes. He don't have to be involved in build up like that.
Yeah,
If you've got
he would be our de facto striker if you
yeah,
think about it.
if you've got three midfielders, a right winger, if you've got three midfielders, a right winger, a striker, two fullbacks all involved, what do you do? Like that's okay. Same way Sterling wasn't, and Sterling's a better footballer than people give him credit for, but he wasn't involved all the time in Manchester City's build-up. Like, be there to score the goals. Doesn't mean he didn't drop off and play, but no. You have David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva. You have them players. That's why it's 11 players. Yes. Same way if we signed Mbappe, I'm not really trying to see him dropping off and being involved in possession. If we signed a Rafael Leao, I'm not really trying to see him. No, get up the pitch. Be in the final third. Don't worry about this. We got midfielders in there, a Casemiro, an upgrade on Eriksen, an upgrade on Bruno. That's them three's job. That's the three of them. The striker, if he drops in. That's why I'm so important about wanted, because Ivan Toney can do that. Yo, just spin him behind, man. Spin him behind it, because we know if we put you in front of goal, you'll score. We've seen it all season long. And like Eddie mentioned about create, not only can he create for himself, he'll create for others with that. No defenders want to be facing their own goal. Well, that's just me. So yeah, I would fully possession based. Yeah, with Rashford could work. Big up to Jacob every single time as well. Emma says, is Donny really going to be moved on? He's been out for most of the season due to an injury. Would he be match fit enough to be bought? I think I can see someone buying him.
Yeah.
I can see him going back to Ajax or something like that. Definitely. Even if it's a loan deal. I can see that. I can definitely see that.
I would loan him out
first
just to see what he looks like, and then but we've done that before with him. You remember, but we sent him to go play with Frank. So where did we really send him when you think about it? Because of what we need in midfield, like we just need bodies, and the manager has a history. I would let him rehab on somebody else's dime and then see what he looks like. Then make the decision.
What? Nah, fast.
Yeah.
And to menace to society, no, this is not the NFL chat, but the NFL show will be returning to the Twitch, so keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. But no, this is not the NFL show.
Mm-hmm.
This is not it. Nope. Let's see what else you lot are saying as well. Ad says United fans won't hear it, but the quicker we upgrade on Bruno and Rashford, the quicker we'll progress into a title-winning team, along with a goalkeeper, central midfielder, and other positions. Pretty much the whole team. I hear you, Ad. I disagree with the Rashford part, but hey, if we can get better than Rashford, cool. If you're bringing me an Mbappe or Leao, or somebody we don't know who's better than Rashford, cool. Yeah, if you're bringing me a Vinicius Jr., cool. But do I want to see upgrade? And Eddie mentioned it. Everybody can go. Yeah, man. Like ACGI, man. You know what I'm saying?
Anybody can get it.
Facts. So it's kind of like I'm not defending, like outside Martinez, Varane, Casemiro, and I throw Rashford, they're the only four I'm trying to see in the starting lineup. I'm not even fighting for Rashford to be in the lineup. Someone says Rashford is not cool. Go get better. It has to be better than Garnacho, though. You know what I'm saying? It has to be better than Garnacho. Has to be.
Yeah.
Like it can't be. All right, Rashford don't play and Garnacho starting. We can no. Bring me better. I'm all for that.
That's a bit of a. It's a bit of a weird one. If I'm just being honest, like the replacement. Of course, you want better. Like if you're going to replace at any point in time, it has to be better. And so I'm just thinking about the money that it would cost to get that much of an upgrade in that situation. I don't think it would be. I think you're asking a lot. I think you're asking a whole lot. So That's the
Yeah.
way I see it. That's the way I see it play. I think it'll stay as is. Did you block? That's hilarious. You blocked Ryan.
Yeah, just talking rubbish. Just time him out, man. Yeah, man. It's the United show, man. What are you talking Liverpool stuff for, man? No one cares, man. What I'm saying. Like, no one cares. He's little bro, but nobody cares. Like, he said it and everyone ignored him. That's the crazy part. You know what I'm saying? No one cares. We ain't here talking Liverpool.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
not like we're playing Liverpool or we're talking about going for the same player or there was nothing Liverpool related. Zero. Like, oh, what do you think about Liverpool potentially going for Toney? You get what I'm
Oh
saying?
no.
Like,
Oh
it's not like
yeah,
someone said that just here attention seeking, man. Go elsewhere, man. And the fact everyone ignored him is that's how you know. Everyone just ignored him. Everyone just kept it stepping. No one said shit. Respect the chat,
Oh
man. You lot are on that same ignorance I'm on. I respect it. I'm saying you can hold that for 5 minutes to joke, man. Sure, man. No one don't care.
that's
I'm
funny.
saying
That's funny.
no one don't care. And I bet there's not even been no official. Has there been, that being said, since we're on it, has there been official reports? Because I presume he's talking about McAllister. Let me know in the chat, people. Is it official reports or is it just rumors?
Probably rumors. I think
Bear
he's a
in
wanted
mind,
man from the
the same
looks of
McAllister
it.
who was just on the, you know what I'm saying, just team just got bought by Newcastle 4 and Everton 5, but whole different conversation we won't go into. But go on, carry
Let's
on,
not
pal.
go. No, let's not go into that
Yeah,
conversation. Let's not
let's not do
go.
that. Because everyone was quick to wax lyrical when they beat us and when they beat Arsenal.
Oh, no,
Right.
man. I'm off that. I'm not for that conversation one bit about that. But yeah, I will say he is he's the thing with him is I'm in my head because of what we've seen for the last 2 years. This 1 year doesn't necessarily mean all that much to me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I understand what the past has been, the certain things that he's gone through. Um, but moving forward, especially after his production this time around, that's his new standard.
Hmm.
That's his new standard. So he has to be better. It has to be better. Like I've said, it has to be better than what we're seeing
Yeah,
now.
100%. Well,
Watkins, I'm good.
yeah,
I'm
I'm good on
good.
Watkins.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think he's
good.
playing very well, but I think he's just in great form.
He's
I
at
don't
his
think he's
level.
quality.
He's at his
Yeah,
level for sure.
mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Without doubt. Big up to G Unruly as well. Big up to you every single time. Speaking of Rashford, is he available tomorrow? He trained. I know he trained this week. However, is he
Mm,
available? Not sure. I'm really, really not sure. Time to
yeah.
shine says Sancho is currently United's biggest financial burden. I saw something yesterday where his salary is 18.2 million a year and the transfer payment is 17 million per year with 51 million owed. We'll have to deal with that, which Manchester United are definitely capable of.
Yeah, you got to make the decision. You got to live with the
Mhm.
decisions that you make. And in this situation, it wasn't even a Ten Hag thing. It
Yeah,
was
well, yeah, it's not someone he's at.
he inherited. That's part of the group that he inherited.
Yeah,
So you just got to work with it.
yeah. Legit. That's what it was. And to Adzu says, have you guys discussed Rabiot on a free 20-year-old pace and power carrying midfielder can tackle? But once again, I want far better than this, although he's better than McFred for now. Yes, we did discuss this on an episode earlier on this week. I believe it was either Monday when I was by myself or Tuesday when I was with Ivorian. There's legit a show that ManDem United have done this week speaking on this. But just to rehash it, and I'll let Eddie talk about it further. I've stated already, if it's Rabiot, cool, but it has to be Rabiot and two central midfielders better than that. It can't be Rabiot
Mm-hmm.
and Sabitzer. It has to be Rabiot or Sabitzer. I think Rabiot is good enough, but he has to be a squad player and he has to be number 5. It has to be Casemiro, back up to Casemiro, upgrade on Eriksen, then Rabiot, or then Sabitzer. I'm cool with either one of those two. Rabiot on the free is cool business, but it's Rabiot and he has to be part of 3 central midfielders. The same way I spoke about the strikers. Go and get the backup to Casemiro. Go get the upgrade on Eriksen and have Sabitzer as number 5. Not Sabitzer or Rabiot as number 5. Cool. That's a great 5. Same way with in the defense with the centre backs. We're looking at Kim Min Jae. You have Martinez. You got Shaw. You got Varane. You got Kim Min Jae. Lindelof's 5. Cool. That's how I'm looking at Rabiot. Like the Lindelof.
Yeah.
You're 5. All of a sudden, the team looks so much better. So yeah, Rabiot could be a part, but he has to be a part of something. Go on, yeah. Your thoughts? What you saying, Eddie?
Yeah, and I know he has a standard because we've seen what happens when he falls underneath that, and who's going to show up on the front doorstep if you do. So for me, he fits the profile of what I want to see us turn into. People who aren't afraid, people who take risks, who honestly, they don't blink, you know? I think that's important in this setting that we build that type of, because what we're going up against mentally, you have to be strong about it, right? And I think too many times mentally we checked out, and then that one mistake is, all that it takes.
Thanks. No, you right. 110%, fam. You right. So yeah, that's what it is. And to where is it? Yeah, to my we said Rabiot is better than Sabitzer. Rabiot is a big game player as well, flawless. Either or. I'm not gonna argue either or. It just has to be, it can't be both, is the point I'm making.
I think if we get both,
I'd be pissed if we get both. Get one. Take your pick. Yeah, go on, Eddie. Go on.
So let me ask you this though. Would you take those 2 plus another new 2 as well?
Oh, if we were to sign those 2 and then it was a next 2 and we had them as 6, cool. If they were 5 and 6, cool. They just can't be 4 or above. It can't be somebody gets injured and Sabitzer's in the lineup or Rabiot's in the lineup. It has to be someone's injured, someone's suspended, then we see a Rabiot or Sabitzer. But if they're 5 and 6, cool. Because they're both, to me, better than Fred and McTominay. That's a good 5 and 6, all right, and to be cheap. What, Rabiot free, Sabitzer 20 M's. Cool.
Okay.
But there has to be an upgrade on Eriksen. It has to be young level. And the backup to Casemiro has to be Lavia-esque. Has to be a like someone of a certain substance, to the point where you go, all right, cool, now we have serious midfielders. But yeah, if it's both of them, cool.
Yeah.
Cool, no issues. You want to go with 6, come. Then you got 3. You know what I'm saying? Then you got 3 choices like in the double pivot you can play as the 2 6s or a 6 and an 8.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough for me. I think Eric's the one that's the biggest upgrade we need. And I think once that happens and he can be kind of maybe that 3rd to 4th, I think the pecking order will go down a bit. And I think that'll make a bit more sense for him and us as a whole.
Right.
Like if it's those 3, Eric, Rabiot and Sabitzer. If it's those 3 that come off, I think that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, I think it's just figuring out who's next to Cass and Bruno. That figuring out who's next to those 2 can put us in a better position, I believe.
Yeah, there needs to be improvements again. If we all know this team's not good enough, so let's try and I want us to improve it. There has to be, there should be, and then it makes everyone steps their game up. I've said Maddison as a 10, but it don't have to be Maddison. Go and get another number 10, whoever that may be. Let's go and improve in that area. Same way man in the chat talking about, they don't like Rashford. All right, go get a better number 11. Go get a better left winger.
Yeah.
Go get someone who will go and compete and make Rashford raise his game. Because I believe Leicester will get relegated, so you go and get James Maddison on the cheap. Ivan Toney with this 8-month ban, you can get him much cheaper. Go and do smart deals. Rabiot on a free, cool. Lavia is about to be Lavia is relegated. He's currently a championship player. Go get Lavia. He's championship. You're negotiating from a position of power with all the positions I talked about. Rabiot, Lavia, Maddison, Toney. All of a sudden, your team's starting to look back. That's not even that expensive either. Because Maddison's probably going to be a championship player. Lavia is a championship player. Ivan Toney's on an 8th month ban, and Rabiot's free. That's 4. That's 4. The most expensive you're probably going to have to pay for is the upgrade on Ericsson. That central midfielder. That's where a major cash may have to be. And a goalkeeper. They're probably the 2. Well, other than that, like even Kim Min-jae, they're talking, what, 45 million? Still.
Yeah.
It's not even that expensive. I don't think with all the players I've named, we've even cracked 200 million yet. It's a cheap summer. With the actual names I've mentioned. Let's say Maddis is 50 M's. Let's say Lavi is 40 M's. Let's say Toney's 50. What? That's 50, 100. That's 140. Rabiot's free. Kim Min-jae, that's then it's just under 200 million, 200 M's. And that's without selling players and replenishing and like getting money back for players and stuff. Like it really is. So Miller says Milinkovic Savic from Lazio is a great upgrade to Ericsson. I've not watched Milinkovic Savic like that. His name's been mentioned. I've not watched him enough to be like, yeah, go get me Milinkovic Savic.
Yeah.
So I can't really comment. To say go get him, but his name gets mentioned often.
A lot. And I think it's one of those names that always gets tossed in there around this time. And for me, it's like, if you're always being included in the conversation, but not for the reasons of you actually having that move happen, it's just like, it seems like to me you're one of those conversation pieces for everybody.
Yep, you've been a conversation
and
piece.
Somebody would have came in and swooped you up if it was really like that, So for me, I'm another one. I'm good. I'm all right.
First, yeah, I'm always skeptical when a players get his name gets mentioned all the time and nobody goes and buys him.
Nobody wants anything, like nobody's taking any kind of what's the word I'm looking for,
no one said, all right, let's take
initiative. Initiative. Yeah. Nobody's gonna take the initiative to get the job done. Then it is what it is. Like, he's just gonna stay where he's at. I don't think it's rough. It's unfortunate, but it's not my press. Like, it's not our problem.
Facts. Koulibaly was very much like that. He was one of those.
Yeah, he's another one. Yeah,
Koulibaly, before he got that Chelsea moved, he was linked for years.
Yeah.
Right, that's what it is. But yeah, before we close out, you lot continue to bump up the likes. People are at 41 likes, get us up to 50 likes. Subscribe to the channel as well. We will be back at midnight for the Manchester United Chelsea Tottenham Hotspur show with myself, Surfer, and Gerson, another ManDem United crossover show discussing those 3 clubs. But before we get out of here, yeah, that's today. Yeah.
It's usually today. Tomorrow, right?
It's normally Saturdays. Yeah. It's normally Saturdays, but because be stepping out tomorrow. Obviously, Lewis is down and that, so I'm gonna be stepping out.
Oh, right
Because he's in Manchester for the what's it called? They play City on the Sunday, so he's like, "Yo, we're gonna get packed." He's like, "I'm just down in Manchester for a night out." That's what he's on. That's what he did. That's what he's on. He's like, "Yo, forget this. We're about to get packed." So,
are they staying there through Thursday?
He might be. I'm not sure if he's going back. I've not spoke to him. He might stay up until Thursday. Okay. I'm not actually sure. Yeah, time to shine. I hit you. Appreciate that for the ticket as well. Yeah, man. I'm gonna get to that United Chelsea game.
Hey, 100%. Time to shine. I'm gonna talk to you when I fly out there, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out, time to shine. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to time to shine.
Unbelievable. Yeah, go ahead and
you already know.
Paul, I got no. It's just a tough one, Paul. But we'll be all right. But yeah, Ryan, there you go.
Yeah, man.
You do it for
yourself.
yourself.
Keep it stepping. Yeah, 100%. But where was we at? Yeah, before we go, obviously we played Bournemouth away. Score predictions. What are you telling me?
2-0.
2-0.
I'm not going for anything less than, like, I'm telling you, these dudes, they're on, again, my list. They're on my list. They're on my list. They're like, don't make it worse. Don't make it any worse than it has to be, people. Just go ahead, get the job done. And we move, yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, because Liverpool played the same time as us. Obviously, Bournemouth, United away at Bournemouth, 3 p.m. Liverpool at home to Aston Villa, 3 p.m. And then Newcastle play Leicester on the Monday. So they're at home to Leicester. So yeah, we need to win. Just to again, then it gives us, we can 1 out of 2 games at home to Chelsea and Fulham. We'll do the business, 110%. Yeah. I think we'll do the business. No doubts whatsoever about doing the business. 110%. So Emilio says away form kind of sketchy. Yeah, against the top sides, against the sides in the bottom half of the table, we pretty much done the business.
Yeah, that's why it
We pretty
hasn't
much,
been as embarrassing.
yeah, we pretty much done the business. Oh, is it digital? All right, time to shine. Appreciate it if it's digital. We'll sort it out like the Tuesday or the Wednesday or something. Literally just waiting for the money to drop to get paid. So yeah, that's calm time to shine if it's a digital thing. No problem whatsoever. But yeah, we have the 5th best away record in the league, or we did. I'm not sure. Obviously, that might have changed. I've not checked it since the last fixed set of fixtures has gone on. But I think we'll do the business. I'm saying 2-0 as well against Bournemouth. Expecting a professional performance, get
Yeah.
the win, and then it's 1 from 2 to secure top 4.
Are
Legit.
they safe? Are they safe?
Yeah. Bournemouth is safe as well. Yeah. Bournemouth is safe. They're on the beach.
Yeah.
They're on the
So
beach.
yeah, you know, hey, 1, 2, 3 Cancun. You tell you that right now. I know that's on their mind a little bit.
Facts. But I love to everyone that's locked in. Big up to all of you lot. Like I said, midnight we'll be back here. So just under an hour and a half from now for the Manchester United Chelsea Spurs show, ManDem United. Ballers at the bridge talking that Tottenham talk, discussing those 3 football clubs. And then 1:30 a.m. live on the Twitch people for game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Boston Celtics, Miami Heat, game 2. That'll be over on the Twitch. And then on the weekend, you will get, of course, Bournemouth, Manchester United, that watch along right here on the YouTube channel. I don't know, you may get Nottingham Forest Arsenal on the Twitch. You probably will, people, but keep an eye out for that. And then Sunday, and then what else we got Saturday? No, and then Sunday we're back on the Twitch for Manchester City Chelsea. I will do a watch along for that. Manchester City Chelsea. Manchester City more than likely going to be crowned champions. And if Arsenal lose away at Nottingham Forest, then yeah, it would guarantee City being champions before that game even kicks off. And then to end your weekend, as always, midnight, you'll get the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A. Oh yeah, I'm forgetting as well. Game 3, Saturday night, game 3, which is LA Lakers Nuggets. You know what I'm saying? The Lakers Nuggets, that game 3, Denver Nuggets versus the Lakers, or LA Lakers versus Denver Nuggets, I should say. That watch along will be on the Twitch on Saturday, people. And then Sunday, I will try and bring you game 3 of Miami Heat versus Boston Celtics as well. But keep an eye out. I'm going to update the live stream schedule later on tonight. I will do that. So keep an eye out here on the YouTube and on the Twitch. Eddie, anything you want to add though before we close out?
No, that's it for me. Y'all make sure y'all keep tapping in. Appreciate y'all every time. Honestly, this is always dope, good conversation, especially when other people are engaged with us. So keep it coming, man. Subscribe and do all that good stuff if you have it.
Yeah, man. Love to everyone who has a lot in, people. We'll catch you live midnight. This has been the ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up.